I rarely do a whole hour without taking phone calls, but I did because I was going over eugenics, and it's so important. It's what our whole society is based on. I know we have callers from Africa, Austin, Florida, you name it, and your calls are coming up this hour. Carl, Ben, and many others. We'll go to Africa first. 877-590-5525, 877-590-5525, or locally in Central Texas, 836-0590. Look, I didn't even get into all the other news I wanted to cover, how they're selling the public that humans are bad, and so sterilizing us, having one-child policies, having all these new green taxes openly paid to private banks and to Al Gore. Yes, he owns one of the big carbon trading companies, actually two of them, controlling stock in it. How this is good. This is sick neo-feudalism, ladies and gentlemen. And when you hear about Bill Gates, and his wife, they gave $40 billion to help Planned Parenthood in Africa. And Warren Buffett outdid him. He gave 40-something billion. When you actually go through and find out, they put that in tax-free investments. So they don't have to pay taxes on it. Then they take the extra money off the top and fund the vaccines and the rest of it, and the sterilizations and the birth control. Very, very sick, ladies and gentlemen. And so that's what's really happening. So after I take some calls, I'm going to get back into this. Also, TV shows like ABC News, Earth 2100. And I went ahead and finally watched this. And it just came out last week. And it's the Earth is going to completely die because there's too many people. If we don't reduce the number of people, the Earth will die and we will all die. So the yuppies watch it and go, yeah, we got to start killing people or we won't have our SUVs. Total bull. Teaching you to have artificial scarcity. Teaching you to give up your liberties and freedoms. They have this other video produced by George Soros and a bunch of people called The Home Project. And they're copying our model. The model I literally pioneered 10, 12 years ago with the first big viral videos on the web. That is the first viral political videos. They had other ones that, we were a kid with a lightsaber jumping around or whatever. Or bloopers videos or whatever. But, I had films and videos online 10, 11 years ago that were getting millions of views. We pioneered that unknowingly. And now all my films are the most viewed on YouTube and Google. The Obama deception, last time I counted it up, when it had been out 2 months, it's been out about 3 now. When it had been out 2 months, I spent about 45 minutes counting it up, and it had 15 million plus views. And I had Psychology Today on the phone with me doing this big cover story. Kind of a hit piece, I'm sure. And he said, so your film's had about 1 million views online. And I said, no, it's 15 million last time I checked. Oh, sure. And I said, here, Google Obama deception right now. And I said, okay, click on the first link. What's that say? 2.2 million. What's the next link say? 1 million. What's the next link say? 2 million. What's the next link say? 500,000. What's the next link say? And I said, you want to keep counting here? You want to keep counting here? Is that what you want to do? They can't stand that. They can't stand they're not in control. They can't stand that nobody can challenge them, that nobody's able to resist them. They can't stand it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why George Soros, with millions of dollars of funding, with a bunch of other big companies, you can look at all the globalists and all the effeminate, decadent New World Order companies, mainly designer clothing that fund this anti-human, the Earth's going to die, humans are bad, we got to restrict everything we do, and it's like a cult. People won't water their yards even though they're on well water, like we're running out of tap water, like we're running out of aquifer water when it's replenished. You're being taught you're bad. You're being taught to live with less. Sure, we should have cleaner systems. Sure, we should develop new systems. That's not what this is. This is about a control group hijacking humanity. If you read the Royal Commission on Population put out by the British government in 1949, you'd know they actually stopped clean power systems from going in the third world so that they would increase their numbers to actually hurt their population so they'd eat up all their resources so they could be controlled. Then they said they used soft kill weapons to wipe out the larger mass after they used the huge population explosion to hamstring them. This isn't about environmentalism. This is about cold-blooded control. And until you've read UN actuaries on this, don't you sit there and laugh at me, some of you people out there, and tell me this isn't true. It's true. And you're being attacked by it. There's all these programs, all these shows. They're brainwashing the kids in schools. I got stacks of mainstream news where the cops are training kids to tattle on their parents, and cops are saying spy on your neighbors. We're in deep trouble, folks. And the same programs happening in Africa and Australia and the U.S. are happening everywhere else. This is global. We're under a new world order. They talked to you like you were little kids for decades and told you the new world order didn't exist. Remember? And then now they're all over the news saying, oh, it does exist. It'll save the global warming. It'll save the currency and stock market banking problem. It's the very bankers that run it that created the crisis. Please, what I'm telling you is absolute fact. We're all in great danger here. And I know they taught you to be smug and smart-mouthed and arrogant and on power trips. I know they taught you not to care. I know they taught you were the elite. You're not the elite. You stupid, fat, dumb soccer moms calling in to local news stations saying kill all the blacks and Mexicans, abort their babies for the environment, and so we won't have thugs. You are idiots. Even if you were cold-blooded, don't you understand that anything that can be done to them can be done to you, you fool, and it is? You're idiots. You think you can go around crapping all everybody and it ain't going to come back on you, you stupid twit? You really want... You go look at those little black kids you're wishing weren't alive. You look at those human beings. Those sweet little humans. You're filth. You're trash. Let's go ahead and talk to Carl. Let me tell you something. You think there's too many people? Kill yourself. How dare you say kill little babies? If there's too many people, then you need to off yourselves. And I'm not saying do that. But it's a lot more extreme for you to be saying, let's kill little black and Mexican kids. I'm sick of you. Let's go ahead and talk to Carl in Florida. No. Actually, the first caller I want to get to is from Africa. Won't give his name. Says he's in the military. Let's go ahead and take the call from Africa. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Are you over there with Africon?
Yeah, they just stood up last October.
So you're in Kenya? That's Africon's command base, correct?
Yeah, it's in that vicinity in that part of the region.
Okay, you're in command. Tell the slaves about command base Africon.
What's that?
Tell the slaves out there about command base Africon. They don't even know about the Africon operation.
Well, the Africon took over this area here. They just stood it up. It's supposed to replace the previous command, and their focus isn't on the African region and this whole area because
before Africon was a subgroup of CENTCOM, right?
That's correct. CENTCOM was running this area, but CENTCOM is focusing more on the Afghanistan, Iraq region, and so they brought up Africom to basically work this area.
Well, tell me why you're calling from the U.S. military Africon, sir.
What's that?
Tell us why you're calling from Africon.
Well, I wanted to call you, Alex, and tell you thank you very much for the work you're doing. But I was just listening to you for the last hour and 3 minutes that, you get a little worked up, and I understand your passion. But you know what? Some people don't have the ears to hear, and you can yell at them to your red in the face, and they'll never get it.
Because they're slaves.
They're done. It's just that's why I keep telling a lot of my buddies here to listen to you here so they can learn stuff. But they laugh and it's a big conspiracy. They laugh and they think it's a joke. And it's just I tell them, you know what? I'm glad the country's in the position it is right now because that's exactly what you wanted. Because every time you sit there and drink your beer and watch your damn sports and you're not paying attention, you brought it upon yourself. Now you're going to suffer the wrath of it. Because if it takes that extreme for them to wake up, then so be it. If they have to go down to the bottom of the hole to wake up, to change things in our country, and to put this crap aside, and to fix what the problem is with these elitists and these control freaks.
Okay, stay right there. Hold on. Stay right there. I know you've already held an hour, so why not hold more? I'm going to come back, let you make the original point you called in about before I distracted you. We'll be right back. Stay with us.